Mukherjee also with us now. Ambassador Mukherjee, what is the Iranian strategy going to be in the days ahead? Their sites, of course, are being hit, and they're being hit decisively by Israel, which is not relenting. They have, of course, been retaliating. Fateh 1 missiles were fired in the latest offensive by them today. But in response to the US and others for a de-escalation or a deal, Khamenei says no chance for now.
I think, Uday, the Iranians are really in a difficult and tight corner, because there is no doubt that the Israelis, with American military assistance given from the back, have been able to destroy much of Iran's air defenses in Tehran, which means that Tehran is unprotected, and the Israelis can strike as they wish. They claim that they are targeting military targets, but many Iranian civilians have been killed, and Tehran has virtually emptied out. It's not just Indian students; Iranians have emptied out from Tehran. On the other hand, if you look at Iran's provocative behavior over the last 2 years, 3 years, using their proxies, the Hezbollah, the Houthis, etc., there has been a pattern of build-up which the Israelis and the Americans and the West associate with the supreme leader. Now, the point here is that regime change is not permitted by international law. But again and again, the Americans have decided when they wish to, they can do regime change. But if there is another country which wishes to do the same, they don't want to do so. Now, the manner in which he said that we know where the supreme leader is, but we are not going to take him out now, meaning we're not going to kill him right now. If we want to, we can do it anytime. That, in my perspective, is not a way to ask a respectable and respecting nation like Iran, which is a large country, which has a long history and culture and civilization. How do you expect the government of that country, who is being told that at any point we can take out your leader, your president, and then accept? I do believe that there are back channels going on as we speak there, because the Iranians have asked certain crucial countries in the Middle East who are close to the Americans to talk to the Americans and to find out a mechanism by which this continuous bombardment of each other can stop, and that some arrangement be made so that Iran too signs on a paper with the IAEA with regard to not enriching beyond 68% their nuclear fuel, because they are allowed by IAEA up to 68% to run their normal facilities which are under IAEA safeguards. The problem was that there was huge suspicion that they had enriched much more. When it goes up to 97%, you can make a nuclear bomb. And then it would mean that there would be in this volatile region not just Pakistan with a nuclear bomb, but also Iran with a nuclear bomb, which adds to the nuclear instability of the world. So therefore, what is important is for the Iranians to agree in a dignified manner through a negotiation conducted in a dignified manner, where there would be the self-respect of the Iranians also preserved, where they would agree not to take enrichment further and not to make the bomb. That, in my perspective, is a reasonable way to proceed. I understand that these back channels are going on as we speak, but certainly, at the moment, the Iranians are in a very tight spot because their air defenses have been destroyed. And so at any point of time, the Israelis can attack any target in Tehran. If they wish to destroy the mountain hideout, then the Americans would have to come in with their bunker bombs, which they do not want to do at the moment, because the moment the Americans come in, it makes facilitating a ceasefire and a negotiation impossible, and B, it becomes immediately the verge of World War III. So I do believe that that's not going to happen. I believe that over the next 1 week or so, there would be some kind of effort, because there are many working behind the scenes to bring that about. Uday.
Yes, let's